of the scalp is the medical dandruff. We said it was flakes. We did not know they have oily scalp, but the medical term for dandruff is pityriasis. So now we underline and write that out. Pityriasis is the medical term for dandruff. Is pityriasis. So pityriasis, pity the fool, but pityriasis is the medical term for dandruff. Pityriasis is the medical term for dandruff. So now pityriasis, I gotta know that. That's the medical term for dandruff. Pityriasis. Pityriasis, but then it's pityriasis capitis. We talk about the head capitis. Pityriasis capitis. Just think of a baseball cap. Pityriasis capitis. If I say capitis, so Dion, if I say tinea capitis, what am I saying? Ringworm of the head. So if I say what? Pityriasis capitis is what? Pityriasis is the medical term for dandruff, but I'm saying pityriasis capitis is what? Dandruff in the head. So whenever we hear the word capitis, so which one are you talking about? Tinea capitis or pityriasis capitis? Pityriasis capitis, we're talking about disorders of the what? Of the scalp. The book said disorders of the scalp, but pityriasis is the medical term for dandruff. Okay, but if I say pityriasis capitis, we're talking about dandruff in the head. You see how that works? That's what we got to do. We got to take the words and break the words down. That's what we have to do.
Probably more important than directed.
Oh yeah, in the lean and rest position.
Give him the game, baby. Give him the game.
Lean and rest.
This ain't no game for no lame, baby.
What's up, baby?
Ain't nothing happened with that too. Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up, Mr. Moore?
Okay, this is where we taking off at 12 o'clock. Our destination, that name. You did? And I want you lame to tighten up your game. Give it to him, Mr. Dean. Good
all
morning to you,
day,
sir.
man. Top of the morning
All
to
day,
you.
baby.
All day, every day.
Y'all got a good representative for the game, man. I'm telling you something. You better get it while you can.
Mr.
You
Moore.
did?
Cause that water might get cut off.
Yeah, I got something I want you to hold, baby. You had a flash, Good morning, gentlemen.
Fire in the hole. Shit, yeah, okay, pityriasis. So pityriasis capitis is dandruff in the scalp.
Yeah.
Scalp, pityriasis capitis. So just as the skin or other parts of the body is continually being shed and replaced, the uppermost layer of the scalp goes through the same process. And then now watch this. When we say we know that the first layer of the epidermis have what? 4 layers. But the first layer of the epidermis was the what? It's the horny. Always shedding, right? So then when we read stuff like this, we automatically know what time it is. The book says, the book, just as the skin on other parts of the body is continually being shed and replaced, the uppermost layer of the scalp goes through the same process. So skin cells in the outer layer of the scalp flakes off and are replaced by new cells from below. Yep. So now, and then it says, ordinarily, these scales loosen and fall off freely. So the natural shedding of the scalp's dead scales should not be mistaken for a dandruff. Because there's always going to be a falling off of the skin, the layers of the skin, right? So dandruff is characterized by excessive production, shedding, and accumulation of surface cells.
Right.
It's the excessive production. So instead of growing to the surface and falling off, these horny scales accumulate on the scalp. Now, what gland is responsible and is connected to the hair follicle is responsible for secreting sebum? You see what I'm saying?
It don't change, Mr. B.
It don't change. That don't change. It's constant. So now, dandruff is characterized by excessive production, shedding and accumulation of surface cells. Instead of growing to the surface and falling off, these horny scales accumulate on the scalp. A sluggish scalp due to poor circulation, infection, injury, improper diet, or poor personal hygiene can contribute to this accumulation. You see that? Person can be. Some folks come in here. They actually put like Crisco oil on their hair. They put
That you cook
grease.
with?
Oh yeah, they put lard on their hair. Some folks
hell no.
they may have. You don't know what they're doing at home. They come in the bar. You don't even know. You don't even. The fragrance. There's no fragrance. You know it's thick. It's greasy. I don't know what it is. It's clogging up my clippers. I have to shampoo your hair. I don't know what kind of grease you're using at home, but I put my hands on it and man, this stuff is thick. Why I'm gonna make, that's just like, why am I gonna clog up my clippers? I don't even know what I'm cutting, but all it, I just can't, it is slowing my clippers down. I mean, my clippers gotta work extra hard now. But extra $2 I'll pay for it. Today, you gotta have the shampoo. I gotta wash this stuff out of your hair. Mm-hmm. When you get in the shop, get that hair washed. So now a sluggish scalp does the scalp due to poor circulation, infection, injury, improper diet, or poor personal hygiene can contribute to this accumulation, and does the use of strong shampoos and or insufficient rinsing of the hair. Strong shampoos or insufficient rinsing of the hair. You know, just like them flakes in your ears come from that soap you didn't rinse out. You got them scales build up, right?
Right.
So now, let's just go ahead and go on down to the two principal types of dandruff are pityriasis capitis simplex and pityriasis steatoides. Now let's look at pityriasis. We said was the technical medical term for dandruff. Right? Okay. Now they gonna talk about two types of pityriasis. Now let's look at pityriasis capitis simplex. Pityriasis capitis simplex is the technical term for classic dandruff. Pityriasis capitis simplex is the technical term for classic dandruff, characterized by scalp irritation, large flakes, and an itchy scalp. The scales may be attached to the scalp in masses or scattered loosely throughout the hair. Topical treatments for controlling dandruff include the use of anti-dandruff shampoos, scalp massage and treatments, and medicated scalp ointment. Pityriasis capitis simplex. I gotta write it out. You gotta have a separate notebook and flashcard. Write it out. What is pityriasis capitis simplex? Classic dandruff. I gotta know that. Pityriasis, but then we talked about pityriasis what? Capitis simplex. And then we go, now watch what steatoides is. So now I gotta write out pityriasis Dion, pityriasis steatoides. But pityriasis is dandruff, but what is the steatoides? The steatoides is a more severe form of dandruff that is characterized by the accumulation of greasy or waxy scales mixed with sebum. Hey Justin, where does the sebum come from, bro?
Sebaceous gland.
Sebaceous gland is connected to what? To the hair follicle. So I can read, all this is interconnected. When we read in the textbook, everything is related to something in the book. Now, pityriasis steatoides, but we talked about a pityriasis capitis simplex, but the steatoides is a more severe form of what? Dandruff. But look what it said. It's a more severe form of dandruff that is characterized by the accumulation of greasy or waxy scales mixed with sebum. This excessive shedding mixed with the sebum, which I know where sebum comes from, is secreted by the sebaceous gland that's connected to the hair follicle. Watch this. Now, mixed with the sebum causes the scales to adhere, because when something is greasy, right, it causes the scales to adhere to what? To the scalp in patches where they can cause itching and irritation. Now, if the greasy scales are torn off because it's scratching, now guess what? Bleeding or oozing of the sebum may follow. But I don't understand why a person just, now since we know, and Dion, we know that every day we cutting the public's hair, why would you not want to know all this? I don't understand that. Why would you not want to know about Penny Rise and Steel Toilet? And everybody just want to cut hair, and then why would you not want to know about Penny Rise and Steel Toilet? Because now you're going to see something on the scalp, don't wash your hands, and then church, Mama, Justin just went and got a hot pizza. I don't know why. You see what I'm saying? I put my hands in somebody's nasty hair all day, but I don't want to know what Penny Rise is still. And the point of my triple R blade just knocked the scale off one of these Penny Rise and Steel toilets.